The grand stage of Rogers Stadium in Toronto became a witness to an emotional moment that night as the farewell concert drew to a close. Amid the flashing lights and the roaring cheers of ARMY, Jimin tried hard to hold back his feelings. His body language showed just how heavy his heart was to end this moment with the fans in Toronto. The atmosphere grew even more touching as Jimin began to sob quietly. The smile that had previously graced his face gradually shifted into an expression filled with emotion. For ARMY watching up close, that sudden change made the stadium's mood instantly transform. A farewell meant to be a beautiful conclusion turned into a moment filled with tears. Amid this situation, Jungkook's attention seemed immediately drawn to Jimin. Without a second thought, he approached as soon as he saw his bandmate getting swept up in sadness. As if understanding Jimin's feelings without needing words, he stepped in to offer support at the most emotional point of the night. Jungkook then wrapped Jimin in a warm embrace. That simple gesture instantly caught ARMY's attention, showcasing his soft side amid the high-energy concert. The hug acted as a silent message that Jimin didn't have to face the hard farewell alone. What touched fans' hearts even more was seeing Jungkook gently attempt to wipe away Jimin's tears. He stayed close, as if making sure the sorrow wouldn't completely overwhelm his friend. That small act of care felt all the more meaningful because it happened spontaneously in front of thousands of watching eyes. For ARMY, this became one of the most emotional highlights of the Toronto show. Jungkook didn't just express his care through words, but through simple, genuine actions. When Jimin needed support, Jungkook chose to be right there, providing comfort in his own quiet way. The moment also highlighted the strong bond these two BTS members have built after journeying together for so long. From stage to stage across various tours, they have grown accustomed to supporting each other through tough times and celebrations alike. Naturally, when Jimin broke down, Jungkook's swift reaction deeply moved the audience. Ultimately, the tears at Rogers Stadium were not just a symbol of saying goodbye to Toronto, but also left a deeply emotional memory for ARMY. Jungkook's hug and attentive care were among the most touching sights of the night. Amid the grand spectacle and tens of thousands of cheering fans, this simple moment served as a gentle reminder that behind the massive stage and bright lights, there are still two close friends lifting each other up when one is holding back tears. Even after the hug, Jungkook's focus remained on Jimin. He continued trying to wipe the tears from his friend's face. This kept the atmosphere intensely emotional, as it was clear Jungkook didn't want to leave Jimin crying by himself on stage. Surrounded by the stadium's glittering lights and echoing cheers, this subtle gesture took center stage. Jungkook briefly set aside everything else happening around him, choosing instead to ensure Jimin felt supported right when his emotions were peaking. Jimin kept attempting to regain his composure, yet the tears falling near the end of the show revealed just how difficult this farewell was for him. After sharing so many performances and memories with Toronto ARMY, the time had finally come to leave the stage and move on to the next city. Noticing his struggle, Jungkook stayed by Jimin's side rather than rushing away after the initial hug. This spontaneous attentiveness gave the moment a personal feel, almost as if he were giving Jimin time to catch his breath before greeting the audience again. For fans, simple acts like wiping away tears hold profound meaning. There was no special staging or choreography plan for this. It happened naturally during the live show, making Jungkook's action feel like a genuine, unscripted gesture towards someone who has long been a vital part of his life and career. The energy in the stadium grew warmer, as ARMY showered both of them with love. Loud cheers echoed from every section, as if the crowd wanted to reassure Jimin that he wasn't alone in this sad farewell. The overwhelming response served as a reminder of the lasting impression their time in Toronto created. Jungkook wiping Jimin's tears quickly became one of the sweetest moments from their final night in Toronto. Beneath the massive production, choreography, and bright cameras, there was a quiet, human moment of one member comforting another, and its very simplicity is what resonated so deeply with fans. In the end, Jimin's tears and Jungkook's prompt reaction made the Toronto finale far more poignant. Rogers Stadium was not just a venue for a grand performance. It became the backdrop for heartfelt goodbye. As Jungkook chose to stay by Jimin until he calmed down, ARMY was left with a powerful memory that will endure long after the stadium lights have dimmed. Even as the planned finale and final routines unfolded around them, Jungkook remained focused on making sure Jimin was okay. His friend's well-being clearly came first. To the fans, this unprompted care showed that true compassion happens naturally without a script. As the show reached its final minutes, Jimin was still fighting to control his emotions. His tearful expression stood in soft contrast to the loud cheers ringing throughout Rogers Stadium. Seeing this, Jungkook realized his friend needed personal support more than just completing the scheduled ending routines. Instead of letting Jimin navigate those heavy feelings alone, Jungkook moved closer, watching his friend's face attentively to ensure he was truly alright. The personal nature of the moment stood out against the grand scale of the concert, drawing everyone's focus away from the show itself. Jungkook offered support in the simplest way possible, staying close, holding him, and keeping the moment grounded. Nothing about it felt played up for the cameras. It was that raw spontaneity that touched so many hearts in the crowd. For fans, it was a clear display of how years of shared experiences manifest in emotional times. When someone struggles with their feelings, those closest to them are often the first to respond. That instinct was on full display as Jungkook prioritized checking on Jimin before diving back into the concert setup. The cheers from ARMY grew even louder, giving both members space to share the moment without pressure. Surrounded by tens of thousands of people, all eyes were fixed on two friends sharing a quiet, emotional connection. For Jimin, having Jungkook right there seemed to offer genuine comfort. For ARMY, the scene was a touching reminder that concerts aren't just about flawless routines. They also reveal the authentic, human side of the members when emotions naturally spill over. Ultimately, that instance at Rogers Stadium left a lasting impression. Jungkook didn't just stand nearby. He actively cared for his friend through quiet, immediate actions. Amid the massive production and roaring crowd, his choice to look out for Jimin became one of the most unforgettable highlights of their time in Toronto. After receiving the hug and comfort from Jungkook, Jimin's expression slowly began to settle. While the sadness hadn't completely vanished, having someone alongside him who understood his feelings seemed to lighten the weight. This change in mood became one of the most discussed highlights after the show ended. Just moments earlier, Jimin's face had shown deep, raw emotion as he struggled against tears, realizing their Toronto shows were coming to an end. Yet, with Jungkook right by his side, his demeanor gradually softened. Jimin then tried to smile again, even with tears still lingering in his eyes. That subtle shift touched ARMY deeply, serving as a sign that Jungkook's steady presence had helped him process the overwhelming farewell. What stood out to many was that Jimin didn't immediately jump back into full performer mode. He took a few quiet moments to lower his head and take deep breaths, working to regain his composure. It offered a rare, grounded look at the person behind the superstar performing for thousands. Throughout it all, Jungkook gave him the space he needed. He didn't push Jimin to suddenly cheer up, but simply remained close. That balanced approach made their interaction feel authentic and unforced during an intense moment. The surrounding fans responded with warmth, their cheering swelling from the stands to help lift Jimin through the closing moments of the night. For the audience, offering that encouragement turned the sad goodbye into a shared experience filled with care. Once he caught his breath, Jimin turned back to ARMY with a broader smile. Even though the lingering emotion was still evident, he made a conscious effort to cherish every last second on stage, making the farewell feel all the more genuine because he never hid how much it meant to him. For ARMY, watching Jimin's expression transform with Jungkook's support was a standout detail of the evening. Moving from tears to a gentle smile in front of the crowd created a brief yet unforgettable emotional arc. In the end, the Toronto concert will be remembered for far more than its large-scale performances. The quiet moment of Jimin holding back tears, Jungkook stepping in to support him, and Jimin finding his smile again, is what truly made the night special. Wrapped in the stadium lights and the voices of fans, they created a heartfelt memory that makes the Toronto farewell unforgettable.